Hello and welcome to another edition of Scots United. I, of course, am your host, Scott, along with my team of Scots, who are also me, who bring you the latest in movies, television, and occasionally pop culture. Last week, Scots duked it out over two new shows available on streaming, Maniac on Netflix and The First on Hulu. Now, they both kind of weighed some of the pluses and minuses of the first two episodes. And now I'm here to tell you really where you should put your money, if you haven't checked out either one, as the deciding factor, as the Mike Pence of the Scots United Senate. I don't really like how that came out, but we'll leave it. You got to put your chips on Maniac. I finished Maniac, all 10 of its episodes. I laughed. I cried. There are no bad performances. It's almost hard to pick out who isn't excellent because there's so much excellence. Jonah Hill will surprise you in how layered and subtle he can be. If you think of Jonah Hill as being the sort of big, bombastic performer. I mean, Emma Stone already has an Oscar, but the small, nuanced expressions and the heartbreaking stuff from her, Sally Field. I mean, need I say more than Sally Field, but she gets to play herself and another version of herself, like a lot of them do, but in a different way. And what Sally Field can do is unlike anybody else. Justin Theroux, among an ensemble that it's just great. It's weird and quirky and different and sad and also, again, funny at times. And if that sounds like your bag, it should be, because it's great. It's great stuff. The first, I'm going to finish. I've watched 6 through 8. It's sad and kind of a slog. It's just kind of slow. Sean Penn is good, but I don't really, I don't know. The actress playing his daughter is good. Natasha McElhone, who plays, again, the Elon Musk kind of character, who's running the space program to Mars in the first, is great. I think, though, that I kind of find her and some other supporting characters almost more interesting than I do the Sean Penn character. It just sort of doesn't coalesce as an ensemble very well. Not like Maniac, which I think totally does. So if you could only choose one, go with Maniac, go with Netflix, go with something really unique and really different and complete. Speaking of other shows that are debuting, Scott has also recently taken a look at the first episode of the reboot of Murphy Brown. So let's go to Scott and hear from him about that.
Hi, Scott. Scott here. I just finished watching the first episode of the brand new season of Murphy Brown on CBS. First, the good news. It feels like Murphy Brown. I mean, they've recreated her home set, of course, but even just the character interactions, the sort of rhythm of the show feels very much like the original show. And that's, thanks to, Candice Bergen, who is a national treasure at this point. Diane English came back to run the show.
And good to see Tyne Daly back on TV.
So, you have most of the original cast back, those that are still alive or able and interested. But it captures something special, and you do feel that. I feel like you feel the show is picking up where it left off. The bad news, though, is that it still feels like Murphy Brown. It feels like a show that was made decades ago. And that's not just because it's a traditional sitcom with a laugh track. It's also because it sort of just has some tired jokes that are okay, and others that are good. I laughed, I think, maybe 3 times in the first episode, which is more than none, but not as many as they would like. There were certainly some clunkers in there that I thought were a little bit flat. It was a getting the band back together episode, so, is there more for them to get into? Of course. Are they going to mine more current events as they go forward? Definitely. Donald Trump is certainly on the chopping block from the get-go in this episode. So, would I watch more? Maybe. I mean, I do feel like I'm not the target audience. this is CBS we're talking about after all. So they're probably gearing this for people in retirement age, I guess. I mean, CBS is not a young person's network, let's be honest. And I'm 40. I'm not young, I'm just youngish, I guess. Nonetheless, noble effort. Their heart's in the right place. There's potential. The young actor they cast to play Avery Brown, to play Murphy's grown son, is charming and kind of hot. So there's enough there. If that sounds appealing to you, check it out. I might see what I hear about it going forward and maybe come back to it, maybe.
Okay, so check it out, maybe not, up to you, you decide. Now, let's go back to Scott, and we'll join him for another edition of Oscar Say What?
Can we talk about Annette Bening? I mean, what a career, right? I mean, go back, first nomination, The Grifters. Didn't get nominated for Bugsy, but watch that movie. Watch that scene where she tells Warren Beatty to go jerk himself a soda. Oscar gold right there. American Beauty. Kevin Spacey aside. We'll just forget that part, but still. Annette Bening. Being Julia, which has one of the best, if not the best, like on-stage fuck you moments to another actor, from an actor. If you haven't seen it, you don't know what I'm talking about, again, see it. The kids are all right. I mean, 21st Century Women, I really enjoyed. I thought she was amazing. There's just no one like Annette Bening. There's no one at that level. 4 Oscar nominations, no wins. I mean, Hilary Swank has 2. Hilary Swank beat her twice. What's Hilary Swank doing these days? Not much. But nonetheless, Annette Bening, whoa, butterfly attack, she's overdue. She's overdue. We love her. She's going to be in Captain Marvel coming up. So, make that payday, Annette. Go for it. But it's out there. It's coming. But, I don't want Annette Bening to go unsung. So, Oscar, can you hear me? Let's make it happen.
So that's it for Scots United. Thank you again for joining us this week. Hope we shine some light on some interesting things for you to check out, for you to add to your repertoire for this new broadcast year, and we hope to see you again next week.